Millions of years ago, dinosaurs roamed the earth, but what lies buried here is millions of years older than even them. Join us as we go fossil hunting in the Poconos.
Hello, I'm Tanner Simon. I'm a historian and an anthropologist, and in my fieldwork, I come across a lot of fossils. Let's take a look today at why they form, how they form, and where they form in the Poconos. Before we begin our search for fossils, we need to understand what a fossil is, how it forms, and where they form. So fossil is a trace or remnant of any living thing, and they form when this organism, it could be a plant or an animal or an insect, bacteria, it dies and it gets covered by dirt and sediment. And this dirt and sediment compresses into a solid form, like a rock. And the organic material will decompose, leaving a cavity. Water will flow through the rock and sediment and deposit other materials in there, and it'll form a cast and a mold. And both parts will make up the fossil. So you have your cavity, and the fluid flows in and fills up the gap. And typically when we find a fossil, it could be just one of the parts because they're very fragile, and typically both halves won't make it. These are some of the common fossils we'll see right here in the Poconos, and they vary quite vastly. This specimen is from Raymond's Kills Falls. It is a series of bivalvea fossils that have formed probably as a result of a giant mudslide that came down probably from a cliff or a hillside, and it would have covered all of these mussels and shells very quickly. They would have died and formed a fossil. This piece was found in a shallow riverbed, northern Wayne County. Typically, riverbeds will have a lot of fossils. This particular one was definitely formed as a result of a mudslide, and it dates about 400 million years ago in the Devonian period. We can tell that it was formed from a mudslide by the sheer volume of fossils in it. This is jammed packed. It's a conglomerate of thousands of small wormholes and shells and some gastropods you can see if you look very closely. Fossils like this can be found in any cliffside or rock cut, but always in shale. It's essentially a conglomerate of prehistoric leaves and ferns and palm leaves, stems that have fallen onto the forest or jungle floor. It dates to about 200 to 300 million years ago during the Pennsylvanian period. The most exciting aspect about learning of fossils is fieldwork. Let's go to some local sites and see what we can find. Our first stop is Pittman Orchard Trailhead at McDade Recreational Trail outside of Milford. Even a popular place like this holds prehistoric secrets. Two large rocks at the entrance show us some clues. This is a cross-section of a fossilized crinoid, an ancestor of starfish and sea cucumbers. Here we see an example of a mineralized worm, and this is part of a leaf or a stick embedded in the rock. We next venture out to deeper woods to explore the base of Tanner's Falls. Wooded environments near long-established rivers make great places to look for fossils. Due to the processes of erosion, fossil-bearing rock gets broken down and carried downstream. Though the area has had a heavy industrial past, it holds many natural secrets and evidence of prehistoric life and vegetation. Many of the trees and plants seen growing in this area are similar to the plants that once lived here. Sometimes, rocks can tell us when fossils are near. This one, for example. Although it is hard to discern what's going on here, heavy traces of iron oxide, or rust, in sedimentary rock indicates that an organism was once present. Mineralization by iron-rich rock replaces the cavity that the organism lived in, and you get this oxidation that happens after the fact, which makes it too hard to identify now. When looking for fossils, it is important to put back any rocks you disturb. Though they were used to make walls, in these rocks lie records of the forest floor. Let's take a closer look at this one. Here we see twigs or stems. A comparison helps us discern what we are seeing. Sometimes I don't know exactly what fossil I'm looking at. That's okay. It's important to identify that something is a fossil in the first place. It can always be researched at a later time. It's always a good idea to try different angles of light when identifying a fossil. Even the rocks I am standing on are a great historical record. Take this one for instance. Each shelf on this big rock is a different mineral deposit, made up by erosion, water movement, and shifting sediment. In it, we can see different types of minerals, and even some leaf fossils as well. Our last stop for the day is Irving Cliff in Honesdale. Yes, fossils can even be found just outside of town, and there is a rich diversity of them too. Right here we're looking at a couple different colors of rocks in a band. This is called stratification, and all that means is that this rock is different than this rock. This is shale, this is limestone and sandstone. So this forms when sediment from a river or a sea settles to the bottom and forms layers. And as you can see, it's quite thick. On top, this is after quite some time, hundreds of thousands of years of dirt and erosion piling up and forming a rock on top of this ancient seabed. So looking at this, we know this is much, much older than the rock on top, simply because of the way they're placed in the processes. This is a great example of sediment buildup, forming one giant boulder. The shale that supports it is very dense and supports the harder rock above with strained effort. It erodes faster than the rock above. Now, because shale is made up of essentially compressed and dried mud, it is very fragile, very brittle, so it's very easy to break it, and that means the fossils found in it are very, very, very delicate. More so than the normal rock itself, because there's different grooves in it. Because you see, shale is flat, it's in these bands, and any fossil is essentially an anomaly that will cause it to crack and fracture like this. You know, it just kind of crumbles out. You can see I just pulled a rock out of the cliff with my hand. You know, it's very weak. Fossilized ferns can be seen in several of the little alcoves on the cliff's face. This fossil here is gray shale, found at the same level as the red shale, and it has some very large seashells in it. A few fossils, but mainly just seashells. Not that interesting though compared to this slightly newer fossil. I mean, I say newer, but we're still talking 300 million years old, which is a playground of seashells and fossils, and we have some sponges in it. You can see different shapes everywhere. It's very beautiful and almost scary to look at. There's worm burrows in it, wormholes, back when this was still soot and mud. Incredible. And this would have been layered above this rock here. And then moving on in time to about 200 million years up until, 10 million years ago, we have a fossil of the forest floor. We see some leaves in here, some patterns, and a lot of this is, starting to form coal. We see traces of the carbon in stark, like the coal we find in this region, the anthracite. And this would be layered like this. So we have our mini replica of the cliff right here. The next time you go out for a hike, take a look at some of the rocks, and you may just find a little piece of ancient history waiting for you.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Collins with Davis R. Chant Realtors. With over 50 years of serving the Lake Wallenpaupack region, Chant Realtors sells more homes by volume than any other realtor in the area. The Lake Wallenpaupack area is an attractive place to live because of its low taxes, great school districts, and beautiful scenery. Agents at Davis R. Chant Realtors have an extensive knowledge of the local market and experience with everyone from first-time home buyers to experienced investors. Chant uses a variety of print media, billboards, open houses, and national websites to promote properties and reach buyers. We work with sellers to put together a thoughtful but aggressive market plan tailored to each home individually. Here at Chant, we know that working together and providing channels of communication and feedback is important for the best outcome when selling your home. We provide a unique feature called Seller's Dashboard to our sellers, which allow you to view up-to-the-minute online information about your home, including how it is being marketed, how often it is being shown, and notes from agents and buyers. If you are ready to relocate, upgrade, downsize, or know anyone who is considering the Lake region, please stop by or call Davis R. Chant Realtors at 570-226-4518 or visit us online at chantre.com.
i2 Print is your premium printing service for all your professional printing needs. We'll help you throughout the printing process from design to distribution. With bookbinding abilities, we'll be able to help you get the word out or promote your business with branded assets and products. i2 Print offers top quality print products at competitive prices with quick turnaround and fast delivery. From business cards, large format posters, brochures, and wrap cards to annual reports, i2 Print can print everything you need to promote your product, service, and business. With the best printing technology available today, we live up to our tag: service, speed, and success. Choose i2 Print for your next printing project.
Now that summer is here and things are starting to come alive again, I dragged myself out of seclusion to get some sun. Come along with me for the perfect day at the lake. I left early in the afternoon and went straight to Mangan Cove. I had heard about it, but I had never been myself. I was delightfully surprised to see just how nice it was. I had always figured it just a boat launch, which indeed it is, but it also provides a nice stretch of coast for general use. It offered plenty of shady spots to sit and watch the boats, as well as a refreshingly cool breeze off the water. before I left, I stopped by the well-shaded picnic area and had my lunch. I'm glad I did. Although not far from the water, the area seemed peaceful and secluded from the crowd. It was nice to sit under the tall trees. I went next to Schumann Point to take a hike. I was the only one there, so it made for a nice time for reflection. The start of it was a little steeper than I had expected, but it wasn't too bad at all. I didn't manage to see any wildlife while I was there, but the sights and sounds of nature filled my eyes and ears. Birds sang and tall grasses shifted lazily in the wind. Although I had been coming to this lake for a large part of my life, there are still so many angles and crooks in the coastline to discover. The walk back was even more beautiful. Light shimmered through the trees and sparkled on the rocks and grasses. The whole woods seemed to glow and shimmer. I thought I would round out my day with somewhere familiar. I parked my car at the visitor center parking lot, and I took the lake trail towards the Tafton Dike to see if there was any activity out there. This was certainly an easier walk and more directly labeled than Schumann Point, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. It made for a nice change of pace. The dike was full of life, with plenty of people enjoying the early evening outside. Excursion and fishing boats joined the occasional water sportsman in beating the heat. I had debated heading for home at this point, but suddenly I made up my mind to stay. I remembered the beach and set my course straight there. Oh, the beach at Wilsonville. That classic recreation spot I used to beg my parents to take me when I was younger. I only intended on dipping my toes, but there were like-minded folks who did a lot more than that. The weather was absolutely perfect for something like this. It was warm, but the oppressive heat was starting to burn off, and the water wasn't too cold. The evening light turned every ripple of water into diamonds. As I was packing up to leave, it occurred to me that I may have just had the perfect day on the lake.
The Sterling Business and Technology Park is currently divided into 23 lots ranging in size from 3 to 30 acres. Each lot in the park is KOZ certified for companies that qualify. The Sterling Business and Technology Park is perfectly located just off Exit 17 on Interstate 84 in northeastern Pennsylvania, just under 2 hours from New York City. If you would like to explore locating your business at Sterling Business and Technology Park, visit sterlingbusinesspark.com.
Hey folks, do you wonder why you see so many B&B Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles here in the Northeast? It's no secret, ask the owner. You'll find out B&B Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Honesdale not only offers great deals, but you can't beat the knowledgeable and friendly sales staff and the exceptional factory-trained service technicians. Going shopping for a new or used vehicle? Stop by B&B Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Honesdale and make a deal. Get pre-approved. Check out our inventory. Go to bnbdodge.com, or better yet, visit our showroom at 125 Grandview Avenue, Honesdale. B&B Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. You'll love your new car or truck if you get it from B&B.
B&B, better and better.
Hey, it's DJ here with Wally Life, and we're hanging out at one of the most diverse places in the Pocono Mountains, celebrating Pocono Pride at Rainbow Mountain Resort with people of all walks of life and love. Nestled high in the hills of the Pocono Mountains since 1981, Rainbow Mountain has been a haven of diversity for people from all walks of life. Everything from the outdoor dining deck at the Bistro Bar and Restaurant to a secluded outdoor fire area and hillside cabins, and spectacular views of the surrounding mountain range. But the true star of this resort is its 12-foot deep, Olympic-sized pool. And after a great day of fun in the sun, there's always an epic dance party at the Hayloft nightclub. Hey, it's DJ here, and we're hanging out at Rainbow Mountain Resort with two amazing women. What's your name?
My name's Kaylee.
And you are?
Kim.
Cool. So is your first time coming up?
I've been coming for 2 years now, but
It's my first time. I've been here like 3 or 4 times, and I love it.
Very cool. Awesome. So 2 years in running, and then kind of a newbie this year, which is really cool. So tell me something that you love about coming up here.
this area is just so beautiful. You have the trees, we're in the middle of nowhere, and the people here, you're just open and inclusive. It's just, the people are amazing here. I just love it.
You get to just let your hair down if you have any, and then and you get to just hang out and be yourself, really be yourself. So that's pretty cool. So what do you like?
I agree. I love coming here because the people, the nicest, the best. They're open, they make you feel weird and comfortable. I love the pool, I love the drinks, but the people are the best.
Up on Rainbow Mountain, people are free to be themselves, and many of them love showing us just who they are. Whether you're a couple that just wants to hang out in the pool, or friends who want to lounge around all day, a true feeling of inclusion is always in the air. A poolside DJ helps keep the energy high and creates an atmosphere of empowerment and freedom for all. A host of talented entertainers, some novice and some professionals, frequent the poolside as well as the nightclub, bringing kindred spirits together to frolic in the sun or dance the night away. A host of entertainers can be found poolside, like circus artists and the fan favorite drag performers, throwing shade and fanning their way into our hearts. Rainbow Mountain has also hosted artists in residence.
Everybody's welcome.
So, and it's been great for me as an artist, you know, to be around that. I feel like the biggest message is just of, I don't want to sound cliche, but like loving yourself and overall acceptance and empathy. I mean, we have choices, we have decisions.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
He claims I'm not racist. I'm just wearing my history. I'm not racist. But our lives aren't equal, but I'm not racist. I just wear this flag to remind you of the slavery, the racism, the Jim Crow laws, segregation, and white supremacy that this flag represents. But no, I'm not racist.
The way my people and people of color have been treated for over 400 years is far too long and far too wrong, and enough is enough, right? You know, and I'm transgender. Yeah, I'm also a veteran of the United States Army.
United can never be divided!
I come from a family who instilled in me to stand up for what I believe in, to love my neighbor as I would love myself.
This isn't a black issue. This isn't a police issue. This is a systemic issue.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
So, you want to know what this whole Freedom Boat Club thing is all about? Simply put, we're a club that makes boating, well, simple. Here's how it works. You join the club, you pay a one-time membership fee, and then monthly dues from there on out. And instantly, you get access to a fleet of boats. As a member, their entire fleet is at your disposal. All those things you imagine boating to be suddenly become reality. When you're done, you simply head back to the dock where the boat club staff will be waiting. Leave the boat with them, and that's it.
Tune in to Wally Life every Monday at 9 p.m. on Blue Ridge Communications Channel 13 for the latest in life around Lake Wallenpaupack. And if you like Wally Life, please click the subscribe button below.